Alright. It says that now I'm live. Is it working? That's the question. Alright, yippee. Yeah, we got a lot of interesting pre-stream chat going on. Hello, hello, Elite SSR. Hi, welcome, Shadow Astro. Today, we're celebrating 15K. We're celebrating a little bit late, but still, we're celebrating it nonetheless. Hi, welcome, Cryphobia. Or Cryophobia, sorry. I always mix that up. I don't know why. Hello, graduations for 150K subscribers. It's a little off the mark into regards there, but I get the sentiment. Appreciate it. Found you after watching Fusion Z Gamer's reaction to Mackenzie's Learning Lodge. Hell yeah. Still wild to me that any of that happened, but you know, I'm appreciative of it. I'm appreciative of all of you, which is why we're gonna be making a poster today. Hold on, let me check to make sure that everything is set up properly first. Let's turn off display capture just so I can launch Blender without any potential spoilers for other projects. Okay. 15K. There we go. Alright, now you're allowed to see again. And I want, because I've been having Spotify not update whenever I do streams because I've had full screen on my other monitor. If I do this, that should fix it. There we go. I might make some Mackenzie paper crafts while I have my paper out. Hell yeah. Be awesome to see. Sorry, I thought you have 150. Turns out you have 15K. Sorry, yeah, no problem. It's an easy mix-up. Either way, here's our scene. Richard's giant. He shouldn't be, but I make him giant. You know, this is a little behind-the-scenes tip. Both explanation of what I do, but also like a little tip if you're doing Blender stuff. If a cloth simulation is bigger, it renders more accurately and doesn't do like weird Gmod ragdoll stuff. So usually you just render it way bigger and then shrink it down. Why is Richard so damn big? That's why, because, you know, cloth physics, they're not great when they're tiny, but we also don't really need cloth physics right now. So let's just shrink it down. Hold on. Scale way down. There we go. That's more accurate. Is that the proper size? That's about the proper size. Maybe a little bit smaller. There we go. Can you do a raccoon animatronic extreme? I don't know. We'll have to see. Richard is the leader of the squad. Yeah, he's we got Titan Richard in here. But I'll shrink him down. First, I need to figure out what order I want these animatronics to be in. I think I want Richard and Wolfgang way over here. Then we'll have Lila and Gage over here. And then we'll have Mackenzie in the center. Lila on the left. Wait, we need to move her with her board. That's not what I clicked even a little bit, Blender. What is going on? Why does it think I'm selecting bow? I don't... Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Don't know why it was doing that, but, you know. Opal's massive. Lamont, yeah, she pretty big. She's not a small one. Silk Song's so fun. I've been playing it ever since it came out. I got a little something to say about that. I haven't even played the base game of Hollow Knight yet, and I didn't play it largely because I'd been hearing about Silk Song, and I was like, you know what, I'm not in the mood to wait on something that might not come for years. You know, I've owned the game for a long time now. I just haven't gotten any meaningful progress into it because of that. But now that Silk Song's out, I have no excuse. I need to play it. Wait, you hit? Elaborate. Okay, let's change. Hold on. Let's get like some actual light in here first. Oh my god. Light, sun. There we go. Rotate it. Probably put it right there. I might just change the background entirely to provide better lighting, but I mean, we'll see. Can we get a Hollow Knight stream sometime? Could be a good idea. If enough people want to see it. It's a really long game. I put 18 hours into it. I'm not even into the main area, but you feel like you're making progress every minute. Yeah. One thing that definitely like stresses me out, because I've gotten a little bit into it. I haven't played absolutely zero of it. But one thing that definitely stresses me out when I was playing a little bit of it early on was just like there's so many places to go. It's like I like Metroidvanias, but I also lose track of where I'm at very easily. So they're like very fun, but also very anxiety-inducing because of that. I'm a big fan of MLL. Thank you. Welcome, BFDI Productions. Did you play Poster Run of V? Not yet. I should do that. All right. We need to storyboard what we're going to do for this poster. I think Wolfgang's looking a little small. Maybe scale up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Maybe even a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, I think obviously we need to have Richard just slammed underneath the arcade cabinet. It's kind of necessary. We can have Wolfgang freaking out over it. Let's get him down here. I suppose first, hold on, we should probably get framing of the camera figured out. We don't need a timeline. Not really. 0. There we go. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to pull that camera way back. Hold on. Bring it back to about there-ish. Maybe a little bit forward. Yeah, cool. There we go. Favorite characters, Gage the Grey White? Hell yeah. Should all talk about politics in a circle? Yeah, they should. We'll start like a podcast for the animatronics. Michael, you should remake that image of Sans crying over Papyrus dying with Wolfgang and Richard. I would need. Hold on, let me look that up. I haven't been into Undertale in a long time. Twitter notification. I'm never going to use that app. Papyrus. Oh my god. Russ. Crying over Sans. Oh yeah. That could be a good one. I'm thinking maybe we have him do a little eye pop out, like hands on side of head. What's that? Like that one reaction image. I don't know who it was of, but I think you know the one. Like I think they remade it with Miles Morales at one point. Minus 180, actually. We don't want to do minus 90. Rotate Z minus 180. There we go. Gonna bring that down just a tad. Or no, it was on its side. I was right with 90. There we go. Bonk. Cool. I put that right there. Make sure it's actually touching the floor. Cool. Also, where's the bat? Bat's chilling, I mean, they're not in this poster, but they're chilling at the little banister below stream down there somewhere. Alright, and then we're gonna... First of all, we need to un-T-pose a couple of these people. Here, let's... Buddy, put your arms down. There we go. It's a little more manageable. Make sure to do this with all of them. I think if I remember correctly, Mackenzie could literally kind of, nah, not literally knuckle drag, but they almost could. They got a little bit of troglodyte vibes going on, and they're also, I modeled them to be a little shorter than they're supposed to be, so that's gonna be fun to animate when I get to that their episode in the series. Belle isn't canon to ML. Yeah, she's not canon to MLL. She's just for stream fun. Although I suppose you could say she is canon, but like not involved in the story at all. She's just like an actual animatronic with no horror story behind her, if you wanted. For all intents and purposes, she is not canon. All right, there we go. Now these will be a little more manageable. All right. Richard, we're gonna have, or not Richard, Wolfgang. Good lord, I'm out of it today. Wolfgang, we're gonna have you grab the sides of your head. Your bow and arrow is just gonna be, it's just gonna be way off in the distance. We don't need it. You're gonna grab the sides of your head and you're gonna soy. Okay, buddy? That looks natural. We'll fix it in a second. Let's grab that. Bella's our favorite stream goblin. She's so rad, for real. My second favorite character is Bo the Beaver. Yeah, Bo's gotten a lot more appreciation than I would have expected, if I'm being honest. How do we make this look natural? Well, this ain't quite right. I literally did this in the video and it looked fine. Why can't I do it here? Hold on. Maybe it's I moved these a bit. I really don't know what I could have done. Yeah, this'll do. If we just adjust it a slight bit forward. Who's least favorite character, including old models? For me, least favorite character. I think probably old Opal, because she is kind of just an orca in the original. That was the biggest glow up in terms of redesigns, just because of the sheer difference in design. Alright, let's have a bend forward. Oh, yeah, no, we need to... I'd have to do relative offset. That's annoying. Alright, well, we'll just have to reposition that. Bend forward. And bring hands to sides ahead again. Actually looks better when he's leaning forward. Or maybe it would go to the... If it goes to the back of his head, it might look better. That makes more sense, I think. Maybe. No, not really. We'll leave it at sides. Bring this finger in. This one up so that it doesn't crinkle his ears. And then this one in. There we go. Honestly, maybe we should just bring this one in too and then bend the ears. Yeah, there we go. That makes more sense. How's it looking so far? It's looking bare bones, but we'll get there. See, I think we need to have him just freaking out. And then bring these back. We can just pop them forward. How's that look in actual rendered view. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Jesus Christ. I made myself cough. Why does bro look like he's surprised? He's surprised. He's freaking out. He's losing his mind. I think that's art. AI could never replicate this. Alright, how do we... no, we want to get out of pose mode. Megla, will we ever see Mackenzie use her axe to attack in future uploads? This axe is made of plastic. So this can't do much of anything. But she is gonna be able to attack the Winter Watch in a way that I won't spoil in the future. I do have plans for that. I'm gonna set it up in the next video. I'm gonna hint at it, and then it's gonna actually properly happen in the video after that. Or not the video after that, but when we get to Mackenzie's video. Let's move these gamers over left a bit. I will rotate on... Oh, we don't want individual. Hold on. Median. There we go. Now they're in frame. It's all proper and good looking. Maybe we move these guys into frame proper. Yeah, okay. And we'll have, like, Opal kind of coming off from off screen. Mackenzie would rather throw a table. She can actually do that. Yeah, no, Mackenzie's just really good at, like, axe throwing. But also chucking tables, as seen in the first intro video to the series. Okay, so that's about where I want it to be. I should tweak this just a little bit. There we go. Honestly, I think we just leave him T-posing. This is not even that bad. He goes with the vibe. And then maybe... Mackenzie's a big back. Yeah, literally. Look at that. The arch. Alright, let's rotate 90 degrees for Opal. Let's just get Opal coming in to munch on Gage casually from off screen. G, Y. Oh, that's not what we want. Hold on. There we go. Bring her to the right. There we go. Will they ever speak? Not any actual words. There will be noises that they make, but I feel like whenever they're able to speak, it kind of takes away from the mystique a little bit. Gage kind of looks like the offensive guy of the gang. Yeah, like he'd be a little behind on the times. Like Les said, they speak with voice clips but don't make proper English by themselves, by the way. Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. We're gonna have him freaking out. We're gonna have to rotate this. Now we want individual origins. There we go. We bend him that way, and then we just grab one, which is the entire parent one. There we go. So it looks like he's getting punched in from off screen. The dynamic motion. Or I guess implied motion. Whatever you call it. I'm sure there's a fancy animator's term for it, but it basically just means you pretend things are actually moving to make it look like it's moving. That's the gist of it. Maybe just leave that one there. Rotate it a little bit. And we tilt this jaw a little bit that way. Perfect. It's wonderful. Gage would say, yeah. I'd go chilling in Megla's room. Yeah, it's... We got the hell fun just chilling in the background somewhere. You can pretend they're behind this big tarp. They're not ready to be revealed yet. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it till the videos of them actually come out. Otherwise it'd spoil the surprise. I think, honestly, wait a minute, if we... I mean, we could do that last, but if we animate them moving a bit and then just render the one frame of the in-between motion, he gets the motion blur on it, so it look like he's like literally catapulting into this scene. Will Opal and Gage ever get along? Never. It's not part of their nature for character and story reasons. Take a little sip of water. Everybody hydration check. Drink water. Alright. Now for the tough ones. I don't know what these three in the center should be doing. Anybody got any ideas? I mean, I guess worst case scenario, they could just be posing, but we got little goofy goobers going on the side here, so maybe we get a little silly with it. Maybe make Mackenzie stand up, yeah. Mackenzie can be doing that like what's the pose? Like absolute cinema. Yeah, if we go absolute, yeah, okay, we're doing absolute cinema. That's what it is. Perfect. Why this move's so mad, bro? This move's chill as hell. We're gonna have to get rid of the axe for this. And maybe we have them like sitting down or something. Or maybe just crouched a little bit. Yeah, not gonna be that active, but I'm here. All right. That's all that matters. That's what truly counts at the end of the day. Let me bellow these out just a little bit. Although if we had a chair, then that would make it look a little more natural. I don't have any chair models though. In all my modeling, I've somehow not made a chair, and I don't really want to model one right now. That's a little lazy, but you know. Yeah, we'll leave it as is for now. We'll just work on the actual expressions and whatnot. Rendered view. There we go. That way we can isolate the variables. Oh, we don't want to rotate down that much. Rotate the eyes up a little bit. Bring them even farther down. Yeah, there we go. That's the look. Need to bring the arms forward just a little bit. Or maybe just bring the elbows down. Bring it in. absolute cinema. I wonder if we can make the jaw close for once. Just a little bit. Looks a little goofy, but hey. What isn't about this poster? That's perfect. I think that rocks. That is what I call freaking awesome. There we go. Absolute cinema Mackenzie. And we can see the whole scene. Yeah, that'll fit in. Lovely. Hi, Meglin chat. Hello. By the way, is the Hellfawn its own character? Yes. And it's comprised of all the characters in a sense. Well, I mean, not in a sense. It's literally comprised of all the characters. And also, there's lore reasons behind that. And, you know, you get it. You can figure it out. You're smart. Should probably rotate the eye forward for this. Alright, we got absolute cinema. We got Wolfgang tweaking out over Richard's death in the corner. I would change the way his tail looks, but honestly, I think it being added tension is kind of the most accurate. Maybe tilting it up a little bit, just to like give it a curl. Grab. Pose. Got the hiccups. Good lord. There we go. And then maybe we grab him and bring him down a bit. Oh yeah, no, hold on. I need to grab everything. Grab. Down. Spread the legs outward just a tad. And then bring the knee definitely outwards. So he's like crouching, kind of. And rotate the foot to make sense. There we go. That's proper. Would Belle be in the Hellfawn, or should she be square? Yeah, Belle's got her own thing going on. Everyone in the chat, make this into a profile picture. Yeah, I'll just get a quick little zoom in if you want to get a little snapshot. I'll move my mouse out of the way. There you go. Beautiful. I'll also have the 4K render on Twitter, so, you know. This will be my wallpaper once it's done. Hell yeah. Okay. We need to figure out what we're going to do with Bo and Lila. Maybe Bo pushed the arcade cabinet. So yeah, maybe if we change the order a little bit. And we move these fellas over to the left just a little bit. Alright, it's lagging my viewport a little bit. Hold on, let's bring this back to just normal view. And Bo can be sitting on it. Wonderful. Be right back. I'm going to change my profile for a second. Hell yeah. Why would Bo do that? That's so mean. He's got a little evilness in his soul. He's mostly a chill dude, but only because he lets the demons out every now and then, you know? Alright, let's move the legs up proper. G, Z, Y. Now let's rotate actually, yeah, let's just rotate the whole thing left a little bit. Bring it forward. Rotate on the Y-axis just a little bit for the lean. For the lean. Bo eat people every once in a while, but otherwise he's chill. Yeah, it's just like, you know, you kind of gotta let it out every now and then. Otherwise, it's just all the, you know, all the stress piles up. Every now and then you just gotta drop an arcade cabinet on someone. Maybe eat a person's head or two. It ain't his fault. Just the way it is. Or maybe he's oblivious to it. That could be what it is. He don't know no better. He just wanted a chair and he didn't know Richard was there. So he's gonna look at him. Do I have bottom jaw controls? Well, that's top jaw. That's not. We do, but it's a little goofy to just collapse it. Maybe if we just close it a little bit. No, that's not the move. Lovely. It looks beautiful. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to leave it open as normal. We're going to have just one little hand up. We're going to have to rotate this up. Rotate, Z. God, I'm going to have to re-weight paint these. These are not the best. Rotate X. 180. There we go. Lovely. We're gonna bring it down a little bit. We're just gonna have one little finger out. He's gonna be like scratching his head. He's like, did I do that? I don't remember doing that. That was the most heavy bite of the bunch, or is another character that have heavy bite? Well, he does have a. He's like you know how like ants can carry the most weight, but only in proportion to their body size? That's the situation with his bite force. Like, he has the strongest bite force out of all of them in comparison to his body size, but in terms of straight up bite force, we do have Gage getting obliterated by Opal over here. So there is that. Opal and Gage probably have stronger jaws. Yeah, it's, you know. Although I guess, yeah, no, for proportion to body size, it's Bo. But in terms of just straight up raw power, that's gonna be Opal. Okay, let's rotate these inward just a little bit. There we go. That looks like a proper finger curl. And we're gonna have it rotate just a little bit. Bring this forward and down. And rotate this up just a little bit, but not much. There we go. Now he looks a little befuddled, bamboozled. Not really understanding what's going on. Bo is a himbo. It's true. It's lore accurate. Although lore accurate would be that he's probably like a kind of like a trickster a little bit. Rotate double Y? No, double Z. That's what it is. I'll bring this down just a little bit and then bring all this up a tad. There we go. Beautiful. But reminds me of Bob the Building. That's fair. Makes a decent bit of sense. Now we gotta keep the top hat on. Or not top hat, hard hat. Bo's laugh says it all for real. Alright. This scene is beautiful. I'm thinking maybe we just get like a rail in the front, and Lila's just hitting a sick grind trick. That could be good. Michael, do you like my new profile picture? Hell yeah. It's perfect. No notes. Right, let's... I think, yeah, if we get like a... Can I get like a... Hold on, wait. Can I get a PNG of a Tony Hawk trick message? Hold on. Tony Hawk grind trick PNG. That would complete it. I'd have to do it at the editing later, but there's not any PNGs of it. I guess I could just like make a text file, or not file, but just write it out in text afterward. Still, I think that's the move. A lot of this episode's gonna be so rad. Yeah, I'm putting a lot of effort into it, so hopefully it turns out that way. But I think it's gonna be freaking awesome. Can Lila do that cat breakdance meme? That actually could also be a good move. But I'm sold on the Tony Hawk grind trick. Tragically. Maybe in another poster one day. I have forever to make posters for these characters. And they're also available for free, so if you want to make it, you can go for it. Send it to me on Twitter. I'd love to see it. G, Y, rotate on the Y axis 90. Apply. Alright, and we'll just like make it a basic rail. Scale on the x-axis. There we go. That's a bit long. Let's make it like a little bit shorter and a little bit lower. And then we just duplicate. Rotate 90. Shrink it down a little bit. And we just duplicate it. X-axis 1. No, not 1. 5. There we go. And then same thing here. Duplicate. X-axis -5. Cool. And that's a rail. My theory that has little evidence is that Bo is a worker that was caught in the aftermath of a chainsaw that was friends with the creator of MLL, who was middle-aged and a dad. It's an interesting theory, I will say. Alright, take a little sip. Hydration check again. I love liquids. I love dihydrogen monoxide. It's my favorite. Laz my favorite in general. Valid, but Richard kind of slept on. It's true. I mean, he's also literally destroyed. He's currently sat on as well, so it's kind of rough for him. But as my computer works, so I wish my computer worked, so I can make a Lila mob for a skate game. If Megla ever, dude, I would play the shit out of a Lila mod for like any of the skate games or like any of the Tony Hawk. Dude, that would rock. I would play the shit out of that. Okay, how is this looking rendered so far? I think once I get Lila post, it's mostly going to be lighting and materials. This is looking pretty chaotic, but in the best way possible. Alright. Lila, it's time for you to hit a sick grind. Nope, you need to bring your board with you. You can't just do it with nothing. G, Z. And then we need to... Actually, if we're going to be doing this, it would be easier if I just parented these bones to the object. Child of snowboard. And same for you. Child of snowboard. And we can just take her. Lovely. Look, you got the hops. We just take her down a little bit. Bring this down. Rotate it on the y-axis and then the z-axis, and then bring it up. It's coming out the front there, which we don't want. Bring it forward. Maybe rotate it on the Z even more. Rotate X. There we go. Now that is frickin' sick, dude. It might defy the laws of physics a little bit, but I'm here for it. What good skate trick doesn't do that? We're gonna need to fix the knees for sure. Rotate on Z? That's not... Why is it doing that? What? Oh, it's because I had it mirrored a little bit. Alright, now it's consistent. Alright, let's fix these knees. Good lord, she's broken. She's looking like unknown from fucking Dead by Daylight right now. Alright. Uncrinkle your leg bones. There we go. Now we bring her forward and to the left a little bit. Here, bring the arms out. Lovely. Then bring this down. Bring this up. Bring it forward a little bit. I'm locked in. There we go. Oh, that's my favorite in general. Hell yeah. Sure, it has a canonical husband. He's fine. Yeah. I don't know if you see, but Casvin D. Pole, Team Fortress 2 recap. And man, was it fun to watch. I haven't. I need to like check back in on Team Fortress YouTube sometime, see how it's going for them. I've already kind of like moved on from Team Fortress a while ago. I used to play the hell out of it, but I've moved on to other games. Right now, Dead by Daylight's my current brain rot. Check, you know. Isn't there a new MVM update coming out too? If so, probably gonna be playing the hell out of that, at least for like a little bit. Because MVM, that got like no updates even when it went live. Alright, let's rotate her head a little bit. What would happen if Opal would have a full body? Nobody would be safe. Alright, we need to bring the helmet down. Or not the helmet, it's goggles, but... Oh god, hold on. Having hiccups. Alright. Rotate. G, Z, Z, G, Y, Y. Cool, there we go. Now she's rad. I didn't mean to go to edit mode. Let's rotate the ears leftward a little bit. Bring it forward. Nice. Now there's motion. Now this is pretty rad. I won't lie, this is pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, that rocks. What about if we add back in the fur? It's gonna look different once we have fur. Yeah, it's about what I'd expect. God, she's so freaking cool. Alright. GX. Just so we can see a little more of Gage and Opal. then we're gonna make this bar red, like actual snowboarding bars or whatever. I think. I don't snowboard, don't quote me on that. Metallic. Yes, please. Roughness. So let's bring it way down. Let's just shade it smooth. Or I guess shade auto smooth would be better. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Alright, now we gotta figure out lighting. Tony Hawk, but a Lynx. Yeah, Tony Lynx. It ain't Birdman, it's Catwoman. Although I guess the name Catwoman's taken, so... Not quite, but you get what I mean. Alright, lighting is the key issue here. We want to make it gooder. Actually, wait, can I? This might look better if I bring the shoulders up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Shoulders up. Instantly 10 times better. Bye guys, I got an MMM. Alright, see you later, Evo. Is Opal not like the Shake animatronic? Sorry, I forgot the name. Like the Shark animatronic? I mean, they don't like them. They're very adversarial by nature. So, you know. Alright, let's quick save and go to shading. Oh, them's some teeth. What's up, Mackenzie? You're looking very proud of yourself. And you don't know what's going on, Bo. But that's alright, we forgive you. Alright, gotta bring up another file, so I gotta make sure that I don't spoil everything instantly. World, texture, we want... Nope, hold on. Open up. Can we get studio lighting? Alright, let's see how that works out for us. Alright, that's more studio. Now we just need to hide the sun. We need to make it proper though, so let's get a mapping node. Rotate Z. Let's just type 180. See what that does for us. Is that the right direction? That's basically the right direction. Not entirely or maybe yes entirely. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm a bit of a dingus. Let's see how it looks from the camera view. How are we looking? That's looking pretty good. We could use more lights on Wolfgang. I think Opal and Gage are looking pretty good. Lila's looking great. So is Mackenzie. Bo's pretty alright. Yeah, we just need more lights, like right about here, just because Mackenzie's so massive. She's taking up all the light. Okay. That could work. I mean, it should work. Quick save. Let's move this back over here. Let's make it tiny so it doesn't take forever to render and just see this section. Alrighty. Let's get some area lights. Z, Y, X, rotate X. Make it like 1,000,000 times brighter. Not 1,000,000 literally, but just like a lot brighter. Let's make it a little darker. Actually, maybe it should be a spotlight. Yeah, spotlight work way better here. And just crank up the brightness. We need to make it way softer though. Blend. Looks pretty good to me. We should change the background color though. What should the background color be? New. Let's make absolute 0 roughness. IOR 0 as well. And we can pick a color. A nice blue ain't bad. Or like a deep purple. Deep purple's nice. What other colors could we get? An orange kind of pops. It kind of blends in with the rail, though. Yeah, I think a nice blue probably works the best. Hue. We're gonna make it satanic 666. Oh, that's absolute blue. We actually don't want that. 6 5. The second evilest number. iMode characters, hell yeah. I think with a blue, we're pretty much set. Now that is, in fact, absolute cinema. Let's see how it looks with actual hair and stuff. Although I could just save real quick. Make it not exist in the viewport. Go to compositing and then just render. This might lag stream, but we'll see. Oh, it's taking its time. Stream is somehow managing just fine. You get a sneak peek. You can see this is what rendering looks like behind the scenes. Hopefully we don't run out of GPU memory. I'm gonna take a sip. Delicious water. So yummy. Megler, you're gonna stream Silk Song someday? I'd have to stream Hollow Knight first. Which I'll probably just do. I don't have any reason not to. It could be fun. Okay, so this is gonna take a while to get set up, isn't it? I love rendering, it's my favorite. It just takes so long and you just wait. You do nothing. How long has stream been going, by the way? 52 minutes. It's almost an hour. It'll be a nice little short stream. It's either that or I extend it by an hour by fueling my crippling Dead by Daylight addiction to the masses. Wow, this is gonna take its sweet time, isn't it? If anybody's wondering, oh, why is the next Mackenzie's Learning Lounge video taking so long? This is why. This is 90% of the work that goes into it is just the computer figuring out how to make images. And speaking of Silk Song, man, on the Brazilian PlayStation Store, it's so expensive. Yeah, I've heard about that. Isn't like a lot of companies don't take into account the fact that Brazilian pricing is not like, I mean, it's the same with any other country, but it's like, it's not like the dollar value doesn't carry quite as much. It doesn't make as much sense to spend the same amount of money on a game in Brazil as it would pretty much anywhere else. So they gotta change the pricing for the region or something. At least that's what I heard. I could just be talking out of my ass. I've never gone to Brazil and bought something on the PlayStation Store, so I wouldn't know. But that's what I've been told. There we go. The computer figured it out. Watch this. It's gonna render. Whoa. Look at this. Riveting. Oh, yeah, look at them details. Look, that's a bump map right there. Put all that work in myself manually. See them little scratches? Inspect the toes, the toe fuzz. We got little cracks on Mackenzie's feet. All these details. Odds are you're probably never going to even see these details in an actual Mackenzie video just because of, like, YouTube compression and, you know, the fact that it's, you know, we're rendering it in a lower resolution and then putting a VHS filter on it, but god damn it, I put the work in anyway. So why not? If you're gonna do it right. Look at them teeth. Michael, what made you start Mackenzie's Learning Lodge? One part, I made a cool moose design, and I wanted to show an animation of it. One part that I think the FNAF movie had come out recently, and I thought to myself that I feel like I would want to like tell a Five Nights at Freddy's type story, but in my own style, because I don't feel like the type of stuff that I enjoy from FNAF was being done in the actual main games or movies or anything. So I was like, I'll just do it myself if they're not gonna do it. And another part, dumb luck getting picked up in the algorithm. So those are the three main things that kind of inspired me to do it. And look at that, it's the render. It's beautiful. Did I do it in 4K proper? Yes, I did. I did it in 4K, so it'll be a 4K wallpaper. And you can downscale it if you want to. But this is the thing. And then I have to... Hold on, I need to, like... First of all, I have to save it. Which I need to... Where's my OBS? There we go. Turn off... Oh! Yeah, okay, there we go. I'm going to save it. So it doesn't go into a folder that has spoiler images in it or anything. Blender... where's my animation folder? Blender paid content, that's not it. Posters. Regular poster, 15K. 15K. Wall poop. And I'll save that image and then bring it into Krita. Looks like Mackenzie's doing the absolute cinema pose. That's because Mackenzie is doing the absolute cinema pose. We've achieved our goal. Alright, if Krita can not take forever to open up, we should be able to do this properly. My fan art. Oh yeah, fan art. Well, Krita's taking its time. Alright, there we go. If I go to this folder and then Blender posters and then that one and then where's the 15K and then I can drag and drop 15K and there we go. Copy. Nice. And then we just add a little text flare to Lila. If it loads. Oh wait, what am I waiting? It's not loading anything. I'm stupid. I'm a little bit brain damaged. That's okay. All right, we need something that vaguely looks like Tony Hawk text. There's so many fonts. God, there's a lot of fonts. Papyrus. Is that an Undertale reference? Let's just do stencil. Stencil's the most skater-esque, sure. Like Tony Hawk's Underground or something. Does anybody know what this trick is called? We don't happen to have any skater bros in chat who could accurately label this. I'll just call it a silly grind. Not grinded, silly grind. We're gonna make it like 50 text size. Probably not actually, but we'll see. Oh, actually, okay, hold on. Maybe we need to make it bigger. 150. Or no, I have a better name for it. Goober. Goober grind. Let's make it more just 100. We get the goober grind. And then we just do it again. And we give it a point value. And we make it 4 4,200 points. We make this one 75. And blue. Oh wait, blue won't show up. We'll make it orange. Nope, I'm using blender controls, but that's not how it works. This is Critter. Hello? Why is... What? No. What is going on here? Okay, I guess I have to put it back. Hold on. 75. 200. Orange. Save. Close. And we bring it down here. Right about there-ish. I don't know, we're just eyeballing it. Needs to go left a little bit more. Okay, that seems about right. Alright, we got the goober grind. Perfect. Is the photo canon? Yeah, this actually happened in... This is what happens at the end of the Mackenzie series. We just have the winter watch bleeding out, and in his final moments, he sees all of the animatronics just absolutely dunking on him. At least that's how the story goes. All right, let's hold on. Let's save it again. I don't want to spoil anything through leaked images or whatever, so save as with the screen off. S-spot 15K, save, yes. Okay, cool. There we go. And now we can close it. Waiting for saving to complete. Okay, yeah, that's important. It's loading. I freaking love loading. Am I able to put this on the other monitor? No. Oh. I love Windows noise. Alright, there we go. Cool. Back. The Ravens call. True. Alright, let's see what this smile guy art is that you speak of. Go to channel. Yes. Take me there. Please. If it loads, there we go. Oh, hell yeah. Hold on, wait, let's... no, I don't want to bring it into another tab. Alright, put it right there. Desktop. Cool. Look at that. 15K subs. Gotta give that a like and a share. Repost. Fan art. 15K. It is epic. Post. Lovely. There it goes. It's off. That's about an hour's time exact. You'll love to see it. I'll post the poster to Twitter for anybody who wants to make it their wallpaper. I'll probably make it my wallpaper too, actually, just because, like, why not? Honestly, actually, wait, we're here. Do I have my folder open? Yeah. Set as desktop background. Beautiful. Look at that. It's amazing. And I'll be posting it to Twitter after I end stream here. But I appreciate you guys coming out. And again, thank you all so much for 15,000 subscribers. I don't know how that happened. I'm still baffled every time that we reach another milestone, but I'm eternally grateful. And more Mackenzie coming soon-ish, reasonably, because, again, it takes forever to render anything, but I'm doing my best. So hopefully you guys can see the next episode with Lila in it pretty soon. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys for coming out, and I'll see you all in the next stream.